Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome to the Gamer Synergy Pro League weekly roundup. We have the lovely Veni Vidi Vici. We are joined by Titch and myself, Demolition Sean. I managed to find a hat, Karen, just to cover this mop that's underneath here. I did attempt to tidy it up a little bit.
One, though, isn't it?
Yes, just
like
honestly,
it doesn't make you look like that much of a tit, and that's a disappointment, really.
Cheers, pal.
That's all we're here for.
Definitely. This is potentially the final weekly stream we're going to do for Season 8. We are discussing whether we have another one for next week, but potentially this is the last one for Season 8 that we're going to be doing. Obviously, Season 9 registration is going really well. We're going to go through that one a little bit later on. Certainly on the EU side. Anybody watching, if you haven't signed up, make sure you do sign up, please. Visit the Discord server and get your information dropped in there.
Yeah.
Now, Titch, let's start this off non-league related.
Okay. I've just noticed he's still wearing his house coat.
He's still wearing his house coat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a house coat.
What's wrong with it?
Normally, you go away and tighten yourself up a bit before it starts.
Super comfs.
Hey, look, I'm still wearing a dress shirt here
with a dressing gown on top. But did you realise you were still wearing it? Like, did you forget to take it off, or
no? So my wife yesterday threw her back out.
She hasn't done any laundry.
No, she's home, but she's in the bedroom sleeping. So I didn't want to go in there and bother her. So I was like, I guess I'm just not going to get changed in my because normally I'm wearing pajama pants. Like the moment I get home, my pants go off, pajama pants go on.
Whoa.
That's what happens. But I'm still in my dress pants.
I don't know what's going on here. Who knows what's
It's not that kind of stream, my friend.
It's pre-watershed in Canada.
I still got my work clothes on just because I can't really get into the bedroom to change.
So I'm just want to go out there on your tech stream the other day. I believe you were covering some new upcoming products that the viewers here might be interested in on the VR market for Oculus.
Hang on, is it the second one? I caught the first one. If I missed one.
Yeah, so there's another one.
I haven't seen that one yet.
So you can actually here I gotta tell you this because Wilson chat, so now I can get to hear my opinions on this.
No, but I've got a tea cozy mic. Yeah, I've got to put a tea cozy on. I've got a lovely one.
So if you're interested, Venny, you can see it the VOD on our Twitch channel. It's also uploaded to YouTube, and apparently on the following podcasts. Ready for this?
On Spotify, because I'm already on there. Already on it.
It's on Spotify. It's apparently on Google. It's on Breaker, whatever the fuck that is. It's on Pocket Casts, again, whatever the fuck that is. And Public Radio. I'm assuming it's just a public radio, but so it's out and about any one of those places. If any
spreading quicker than COVID.
Yeah. Also on Anchor FM. I don't know what Anchor FM is, but if you have any of those things, it's automatically distributed by Anchor. Okay. If you have any of those things and you want to take a listen, let us know. It's under a bunch of different
anybody that got
stuff.
lost, this is the AHC Tech Talk stream that they've started.
This is a hijack.
It's on a lot of places. Spotify's the main one, I presume, where you directly do it to.
I prefer watching it, though. I prefer watching it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you'd prefer to watch it, but we don't really have a lot of stuff that we put up on screen, but this is occasional pictures of a product that we're talking about.
But you just get like the facial interaction when the chat's going on. But it's pretty cool that it's on Spotify and everything as well. Yeah, I'm interested in that kind of stuff. I know not everyone likes a good debate, but
so I guess for anybody with Oculus, there is an aim controller.
No.
No?
Bullshit. It is way better.
So okay, well,
it looks like a sodding gun. Come on.
Yeah.
It like as we described it, it looks like something from Tron, or it looks like a Sega Genesis turned.
This is the Striker
or
VR.
The Atari, sorry.
Striker.
Yeah, VR. The Striker VR. It's
Before
it's either
we go any further though, can I just point out that they're saying it is currently $500 and they're not sure if they'll be able to get that cheaper when it comes to market fully.
Well, currently it's like Currently, it's over $2,000.
Yeah, but the current the prediction,
but
the forecast is $500.
They're trying to get down to $500. Yeah.
Rennie, I've seen your impulse buyers, and you'd still buy it.
I might, yeah, but like the average person is not going to get that. It's not going to. It looks pretty cool, but
I guess it really depends on the functionality, because it does have like trackpads, so it's not going to have controllers or joysticks. It's supposed to have like trackpads, so I guess it really depends on how and what you can do with it. Because if you look at some of the stocks, like Wolf was saying, like he got a stock, it was like $100 US or $80 US, which he was like, it's still kind of on the high end for him. And I kind of agree. But you look at some of the
for an accessory, yes, yeah, I suppose.
And you look at some of the Pro Tube stuff, and it's like 300 to 75.
But that is just a metal frame that joins your controllers together.
Insane. Like, yeah, that's insane. So
isn't this striker thing a complete replacement for the actual? You don't need them. You don't need the Oculus controllers,
because then you won't have the manual.
So that kind of that's replacing. Yeah. That's replacing these and giving you a genuine, something completely new to play with. Yeah. So they're kind of reinventing that. So, and to make it work with all the Oculus kit, with all the cameras.
I didn't always bring your toys to work, dude. I can't get the whole thing in. I can't get the whole thing in.
I'm glad that's in context of Oculus stuff.
But
some contraption there.
Yeah, it's really going to depend on, and again, like you guys are familiar with, it's going to be a matter of the developers being able to make it usable within their games, right? So, yeah, I mean, currently as it stands, you're right. It's manual reloads, and it's going to make some things very, very difficult. But I think if it becomes a thing that a lot of people use, then developers would be smart to put in a patch to be able to.
But imagine, right? So here we go. I should work for PlayStation here. So imagine the PSVR 2 is being announced with a new improved controller. Now imagine the next aim has what is effectively a magazine, right? And you have to take it out and put it behind. So sensors on the camera that cover like to your hip. You have to take it out, put it like behind your hip, and then back to the gun, and that's your reload.
I really do not see a new aim controller.
Don't.
All I see is the plans that we saw all along, which is move controllers with analog sticks. That's all I see.
Yeah, I think they need an aim that allows manual reloads.
But I'm going to tell you one thing, Vinny, as great as that sounds, wait until your kid gets a hold of your magazine.
Yeah.
Quick, crap, I can't reload because my magazine's out of my gun, and my 6-year-old is running away with
it. Yeah. But it should have a button reload as well.
Yeah, it'd be a cool idea.
It's like, I don't know if you remember Gears of War for the Xbox. Used to have a button reload, but if you were really good, you would press the button like another 2 times or something at specific points, and it would do a faster reload, and your first bullet was more powerful. So they could do something like that. So still have a button reload, but have a manual mechanic that if you perfect it, it's faster than the animation. Crest was his worst idea. No, I'm thinking, like, I've just dropped my pen. I'm thinking like best of both worlds.
Do you need it? You're on a live stream. Apart from clicking it every now and again, do you need it?
I always have a pen in my hand. I can't help it.
Did you used to smoke?
No.
Did you used to draw penises on all your pages?
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Got him.
But yeah, anyway.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
We'll come back to the tech stuff. We will cover some Pro League. It's a little bit of a... That's not my cup of tea. It's a little bit of a different one this week because there's not much to go through. Are you doing it?
Get out of my room. Honestly. Yeah. Put the kettle on while you're there. But... Just tell her to put the kettle on. We should do like an Ant and Dex in your ear.
I can't hear what you're saying. I've got noise cancelling headphones on. Yeah. Anyway, it's
great.
He's going to start sleeping in those, aren't you? Yeah. So really interesting kit on the horizon for Oculus, especially with the Quest 2 as well. The Quest 2 is phenomenal. So combining that with an actual rifle, playing something like Onward or Contractors is going to be epic.
But you're going to lose the manual reloads. This is the problem, and that's what them games are all around. They're based.
There'll be a way around it.
I've just said the way around it. I've just explained that.
I'll be honest. I could take or leave the manual reload for like a better feel.
He's got his house coat, Karen. His house coat. So a bloody dressing gown, and you know it.
Can you hear that banging around in the background? Is that's being picked up by the mic? Is it?
Yeah.
Right, go on.
Good. Let the heat flow through you.
Yeah. Wow.
Right, okay, so let's jump into something. We've been off topic, so let's go
league-wise. We'll come back to that. We do enjoy a chat like that. But we do.
So we're going to go back to that because we've got some Alvo stuff to discuss as well. So we'll come back to that. So let's go through, have a look. Venny's going to disappear and get told off.
It's just sticking our fingers about me through the glass in the door. So,
you deserve it, to be fair.
So the door's been closed.
So, EU strategic playoffs. You've probably hopefully got the scores on those, Venny. That's normally your thing.
I have got them on Discord, yeah. So we were gonna cover
this final match on Friday.
Yeah, but we were going to cover one of the matches previously.
We were going to cover Death Squad versus Headhunters, but only one team was streaming, so that didn't go ahead. But we do know that both teams in the final stream.
Yeah, so we're gonna cover that one.
Hagrid. Yeah.
You're a wizard, Crispy.
Sounds a bit rapey. So we had French Smokers beat Endgame 6-5. Death Squad PT beat Headhunters PL 6-3. Did we cover the French Smokers?
We did. We covered the first one. We covered the 6-5.
I don't even know what day it is these days. So yeah,
it's Wednesday. We do this every Wednesday.
Honestly, moments like this are the only kind of
the only grounding you've got, is it?
Yeah, and every other day is just the same. So a close one between French Smokers and Endgame, but French Smokers versus Death Squad PT in the final. What time is it on Friday? Is it 9?
Don't ask me that sort of question. I could probably find it pretty quick.
Quick, everybody open Discord.
It's 10 o'clock GMT. That's ideal for us.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, great time. So we'll be on this channel with the stream covering that one, and that's the last game of season 8. That would be everything done.
Yeah, crikey. That's amazing. Okay, so the only other thing that we've got to cover league-wise is the fire sale. That's come to an end. Everything's tallied up. There was a couple of teams that needed average points adding on through forfeits.
Yes,
things like that. So that is all rectified there. So as we predicted, we did mention that Destination Fucked were going to bump quite up because of having these average points put on.
Yeah, but they've had a great season in the end. I know it's a bit blurred on my screen. That's a half point.
It's a half point win. You know, they beat Accent PL by half point, which is phenomenal. You know, Accent, as we know, are a cracking team.
I mean, we have to point out, obviously, you can see the -3 on the board. We've been over this a few times of what that was for. We don't have to keep going over that. But it's important to note that really, in terms of actual raw points, they would have got 75.5. Yeah. So it would have been a couple of points further ahead. Yeah. But that's a great season for them.
Area 51, obviously, congratulations. We did mention that you'd won last week because you were untouchable. So, Billy, congrats on that win as well.
At what point do you stop congratulating them?
You don't.
Like, at what point do you just go, well, you've performed to expectations, so really you need
if somebody stopped congratulating me is the day that I would leave, because it's one hell of an achievement.
No, it is.
And you go through to Formula One. You know, you look at Formula One for me because that's my sport. You look at Lewis Hamilton. If he stopped getting congratulated after his World Championship wins, what is the point?
I've just realised how you and Recon feel when I talk about NFL. The moment just hit me right there. I know nothing about Formula One, but it's been I always do like the fire sale, or whenever we do another format, it's because it pushes everyone together. Now I know we're going to see that for this season, coming up for season 9. Obviously, we've got the new format going on, but it is good to see the likes of Air 51, Accent, Destination Fucked Up. Got Pussy Patrol in there. This is their first season, their first event. You've got like a good mix of teams that wouldn't normally.
Can you believe though it's 1.5 points between 4th and 2nd?
Yeah, that's crazy, really. I know, obviously, Air 51 walked away with it quite far, but then underneath that is
the midfield is phenomenal. Even if you go all the way down to Pussy Patrol, as you were saying, then they're only on 56.5.
Yeah,
it's attainable.
It's just that first to second place that is just absolute beast.
Now we say it's only 16 points. 16 points in Fire Sale is quite a lot, really.
I just think Crashflow's comment.
Yeah.
You say we need to rebrand. It's not Fire Sale this new season. It's going to be Incursion. It's something slightly different, but we covered that. I'm sure you commented on how complicated that one was as well.
Yeah, because we confused the job even more.
Yes.
Yes, that was quite fun on there. Let's bring us across.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome back.
Oh, where's Titch gone? I didn't even know.
Yeah, he literally did walk off the screen.
I missed that. On another note as well, so we would like to bring the likes of Fire Sale or Incursion or these other modes. We'd like to bring them to the NA side, but it just doesn't seem like the demand is there at the minute. I know the sign-up's quite slow for the regular league as well for the NA side. But if we could get like 8 teams who were wanting to do that format, we'd run it for another region as well.
Even 6, if we mentioned this, if we did, if there was teams from the NA side that wanted to do 2 games a week, so they do the regular and this mode, we can add that on. We can double the Incursion mode up, so they do 2 games.
We do need NA players and teams. Well, yeah, I know a lot of them have taken a break, and I don't know what we can really do about that.
Roughly, but at the end of the day, you don't need to register with us until the 7th of March for the deadline. So there's still 2 weeks. Sorry, less than that, 10 days.
Time we on 24th at the minute, isn't it? So yeah, it's like nearly 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm just going with this as a shorter month.
Yeah,
that nearly caught me out. But yeah, so 10 days or so for registration. We can still get the teams through. Last season was extremely last minute for the NA side.
Right.
It's one of those horrible cliches. People wait for teams to sign up to see whether they're going to sign up. But then if everyone's doing the same, when do you stop? So if you are wanting to do it, just chuck your team name down to show interest. Even if at the end there's not enough teams, you don't want to do it, take your name away. But get your interest down and known. That's what the registration's there for, more than anything.
So I know that that I had said at the end of last season that that was it for the Scrub Squad. There's a possibility we return. 2 of my guys want to continue.
Good.
I told them I would sub. But we'll see. There's no guarantee, but there's a possibility you see some version of the Scrub Squad again next season.
Well, a lot of teams have changed. I doubt there'll be any team, to be fair, that's got exactly the same roster. I know Recon was on a team with Flash.
Yes, he's a new team this season, so that's an extra one there.
He's went back with what were his original Hellcats, I believe. So that's a new team, but the Penetrators roster's changing up. I've added two new players to my team. Sean's kind of merged in with mine as well.
I'm pretty sure as well, if we've still got Billy here, I'm pretty sure I saw that Pedro's gone off the Area 51 roster and created his own team. Pretty sure I saw that as well.
Called the Night Shift, isn't it? Is that Billy?
So that's going to be... No.
That's going to be Rose
He was Area 51.
Okay.
So that's going to be an interesting one.
So I just looked up. Okay, so going back to this Harry Potter thing, because I just have to look up the guy's name because I forget. Do you guys remember Gregory Goyle?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm Hagrid, we've obviously got Harry Potter over here. I'm assuming that makes you Ron, and then that makes Crespo Gregory Goyle.
I don't know who that is. I'd have to Google that.
Oh, let me look. So you remember Malfoy?
It's one of his goons.
Yeah, you remember his really stupid friend?
No.
Oh, he was one of the
actually, I think I do.
Yeah. That's Crespo.
Yeah. Little wind-up merchant in the corner. Yeah, fitting.
Gregory Crispo. Gregory Crispy.
He's probably got a Smurf called that. Who knows?
Yeah, Karen, get obviously if Meatpack know they're going to sign up, just get them to chuck the name in. It does bring other teams across and through. Just knowing who's playing against. So it is in the interest of them having teams to play against, people registering. That is what it's all about.
Say are having breaks, so like a lot of not just necessarily teams, but individual players and rosters are switching up and stuff. So yeah, it'd be great if we can get.
You've got 3 weeks, man. How long of a break do you need
to get something together? So I've added players on my team because we've always ran as a 4. Then the Firestill side, we've had Sean on the team, we had Rev on the team, but generally we're the same 4. So we've expanded the squad a bit just to take that pressure off a little.
Yeah. The interesting thing that we're doing for this season as well, because we always leave it a little bit late, don't we? So getting teams onto Gaming Synergy, getting that part rolling. Now we've made a change this week, which makes it a lot easier for us, where we just send everyone a link. So we'll end up with on the EU side, we'll end up with a league with 30 teams in. And we now have a feature where we can transfer a team from league to league. So we get you to sign up to one, and then we do the manual work and put you into the correct one when we know that, once it's been randomly drawn. But we'll get all the heavy work out of the way early. So that's going to make it a little bit easy.
Yeah. In the meantime, we have got the knockout tournament that's going on. Yeah. So if there's anyone who's joined who's starting the first season in the league, or they haven't got a team yet, get a few guys together, play the knockout. It's a bit more casual, a bit random rules, just something a bit different. But it's just an experience. It's called
a 2018 flashback, hasn't he? As such, because some of the loadouts are restricted to what we had at that point.
It's like the Kruger and HZU and stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It should be interesting. Yeah.
So just trying to look now and have a look actually.
Want to get the essay up, and then we'll go through all of the other nonsense, because the essays are the last.
I haven't currently got that to hand, so no.
No, okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 11 teams signed up for this quick knockout tournament so far. So ideally, another 5 will make the brackets quite nicely. So if you're not aware of that, have a look in there. It's called Flashback Knockout in the Discord server. All the information's there. So we've got simple things like it's fixed maps, docks, district, office, embassy, and hotel. Each team will attack and defend each map. The hosting team attacks first. Team with the most wins goes through to the next stage. If the result is a 5-5, then a playoff will determine the winner, which is a shoot house, and it's a free-for-all knife fight on the Catwalk Bridge.
Does love that.
All skills allowed except instant karma, throwing knives, and it actually needs to be on there, which I need to double check is Psycho. I need to confirm that one before it starts.
I believe it is, because it was last time, but yeah, we'll double check that. Karen's asking how many teams have signed up for the Pro League, so the regular league.
Only 2 in the registration channel so far, Karen.
For NA, I think it's 29 for EU and then 2 for SA as well, I think.
Yeah, 2 for the SA side.
Yeah.
Now, I managed to knock together the EU side before this stream started, just so we can actually go through with it and have a look. So that's the teams that we currently have registered for the EU Season 9. I know we're going to get a few more coming back on there, but that was 28, I think I counted.
So yeah, I think it was 29 last time I looked. Surely
I've messaged. There is one more that is a maybe, but I believe they were for the SA division and they signed up for this one, the EU one, by mistake. So I have messaged them to find out. So it's either 28 or 29, depending on the outcome of that one.
So let's just go through a few things here. So we've got La Guadana coming back. They've played here before. They took a bit of a break, a Spanish squad. Which was that? Is that the scythe? I think it means, doesn't it? I think it literally translates to the scythe. We've got the boys. They're a new team. Rage Quit coming back.
Night Shift new.
Night Shift's new, but made up of players that already exist. We don't know their full roster, but there's going to be some players returning. PT SWAT. Probably don't need to go into that story after the last stream we did, but they're coming back. French Connection, they're new. we've got French Smokers who signed up again, and
yes,
French
Vatos.
Yes. Now Vatos. I don't think he's played here before.
No, he hasn't.
I don't think so.
So that's new. We've got. I don't know whether you've mentioned this. You've got Rage Quit returning,
yes.
doing another season there. Similar heading up Rage Quit. Yeah, 28 teams there. That's phenomenal to go through at this stage. As we said, there's still 10 days left of registrations.
We've got that other team that isn't added on here. So we've got 28, possibly 29, but we'll call it 28 because we're not sure about that other team. So we need 5 more teams to get our 3 groups, because that'd be 3 groups of 11.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't get that, it'd be the 2 groups of whatever we've got. So
which would be awesome.
Which is still fine.
Two leagues of 14, as it stands.
Which is fine, yeah. And that would be top 6 of each go through the playoffs. If it's 3 groups, top 6 of each go through the playoffs. So it works. Either way. Yeah. But it's looking good.
Yeah. And then I didn't manage to get through the NA side, but it is open. I haven't put anything down on teams there. We are taking entries for the North American League. Just please, anybody post it out there, promote the league, try and get a few more teams to come through. If you do need any, in the next couple of days, should be tomorrow, I will be getting some posters made up, which I'll put on Discord and on Facebook. So if you do see them, just share those around as well.
I do know there's a couple that there's one that we're waiting confirmation for, but had specifically talked to me about when it was starting and the rules prior to registration being open, that they were looking in.
So Vinny's always awake late. You might as well just add him on your roster because you can have one outside the NA player on your team.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, if I sub and I have my 3 main guys, then I'll just pick up Billy, because Billy's been looking for a way into the NA division. But in order to get Billy in there, I have to break the rule of Canadians, right? So it's it's tough. We either got to find another Canadian that's going to be a main, or we're going to have to break our rule and just bring in Billy just for Fs.
Well, Billy was wanting to take some noobs under his wing and train them up. This is a conversation.
Hey.
Yeah, there you go. So let's bring him in. But yeah, it'd be nice to get. If we had 12 NA teams in season 8. Like I say, I know there's a lot of people having breaks, so teams are having to shuffle around, and a lot of teams. So when we did the NA, well, I say you did it, the NA final, Meat Pack and Killer Bees. Both teams said that some of their players were taking a break, and if they're coming back all together, or they're not coming back at all. Now that may change, but I think a lot of teams have kind of a loyalty to their players, so we'll have to just see how it pans out. But Firewall's been out for quite a long time. A lot of people have done league after league after league. I can understand if people want a break. But what I'd like to do, if people are going to sign up, and if they're thinking about it, just get your name down. Don't wait till the last second in case other people don't sign up. Just put your name down, and we'll get things organised.
Yeah. Now, as I say, apologies, I haven't got a slide for the SA division, which we will cover that next week, because there are still 2 games to play on that side, so it isn't fully finished. However,
I don't know if they're played though, or if they just haven't put the scores in. This is the problem we've got here.
But I can tell you, however, that Eagles Brazil are the clear champions of that. They are finished on 107 points. To Soul Hunters in second place was 79.
Can you hear that click, click, click when I'm doing that? I didn't think that was coming through the mic.
Yeah.
I've dropped it. I didn't realize that was coming through the mic.
Yeah, it was.
We can hear your filthy habits, mate.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eagles Brazil, well done, Eddie, because that is Eddie on there. So absolutely phenomenal on that. Soul Hunters second place, 79 points, and then in third place we have TKG on 72 points. I don't think anything will change from there, so I think that is the confirmed top 3 looking at the points, because the next one down drops down to 59 points and they've played all the games as well. So I don't think that is going to...
Some of the scores that I'm missing are
Skull and Sangre.
Skull, and they're the teams that are
out of that window anyway.
Yeah. So we need to get. They still want to do playoffs. We did give the option of whether they still want to do it or not, and they do. Even though it's just a small league, but we'll do it. We just need to get this finalised, and then it'll be the top 4 players.
I want to try and get Anonymous BR back. That's my goal for this season.
I was about to ask you about that, actually. I was going to say...
Try and get... Leo's been a little bit more active towards the end of this season, helping us out. So I think he is keen to come back on.
Yeah, I think it all depends on his work, doesn't it, really? He's been quite busy at work lately. But SA is another one where, we are planning on running another SA region, but we need the teams to sign up. We didn't have as many. We had more than the 6 at the beginning. A couple of teams dropped out. It had a little teething problems getting off the ground, but
everyone seems to be certainly the top 4 teams seem to be in the swing of it, constantly updating the score, going through. Not
if we get enough teams, we will run it. If we don't, then obviously we can't. But we do intend to run that. We'll see how that goes. We did also have the ANZ division for a season, but I don't think the time zone was working out for them communicating with us. So we don't look like we're making a return with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
definitely see the NA.
I know they've got their own local league that they run on there. Not sure how many teams they had in that.
Karen, it was return to sender. Yeah, I don't know if any of them play anymore. Because that was Mason who was captain, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because it was Mason, Toby, Prio.
He did leave for a season. He left for a season as captain and gave it to someone else. I can't remember who took it over.
Wasn't it
Prio?
Prio, wasn't it?
It probably was Prio.
I think it was, yeah. And I've not seen Prio for quite a while.
Yeah.
I know Toby's playing a lot of Warzone at the minute.
He says he's coming back.
Oh, okay.
He's coming back. So I don't know. Maybe they reform. Maybe from
everybody needs a bit of a break. From time to time. That's the whole point of any game. You can't play it constantly for that prolonged period. You've got to change to something else to appreciate what it is and go back to it.
This is why I buy digital. Going on to a slightly different topic, I always buy digital games rather than the physical copies, because a year later I'll download that again and I'll hammer the shit out of it for a few months, and then I'll lose interest again. Yeah. The break's good, but that's all we actually have as a genuine update, isn't it? Tonight. There was nothing else. That's season 8 done, dusted.
Easy.
We'll go back to talking about shit now.
Yeah, what we got?
Well, we had that striker. I don't know if you were finished, because you were about to make love to that striker, Viagan.
Oh, yeah.
Well, on another weird topic, did anybody hear about the Coca-Cola human resources thing?
This has gone really off topic. No, I haven't heard this.
So you know how the companies will send you to do online training courses or whatever. So I guess somebody leaked this screenshot from Coca-Cola, sent their employees to this diversity training, and the slide said, and I quote, actually on the slide, "Be less white."
What?
That's what it actually said on the slide. It was diversity training. Try to be less white.
Did it mean what it said? Is that that's
it listed a couple of bullet points, which was don't be oppressive. What was it? I'd have to look it up, but they're talking about it on the radio. It was don't be oppressive. There was something else, and then the third one was basically don't band together for white power. It was just what the fuck?
What a training session.
Yeah,
yeah, right?
They're not messing about.
No,
straight in.
It's just a way you put it out there. Holy crap.
So, how's Blender coming on, Titch? I've been learning a few new things this week myself.
What did you learn?
I've just been picking it up again. I started a while back doing that map design. So I continued. I started building a map again. Just going through on that, continuing with that. So yeah, really into that. I can't tell you what I've learnt too much because it will give away the map design, which is ruining it a little bit. But I've been doing loads. I've been taking some of the models from the character models from Alvo, putting them into Blender, setting all the scene lighting, and getting the decent images to use in advertising shots and things like that. That's what I've been on with today. I had a heart attack moment because I left to go into the kitchen and my daughter came in and went whack on the keyboard. Bear in mind, only 18 months old, and I thought I'd lost everything. Luckily, I'd saved it.
But you love it. So
but do you know Blender has an autosave recovery feature, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I saved anyway, luckily.
That has saved my ass numerous times. Like the amount of times like it'll crash or something will happen and I'll be like, restore, autosave. Yes.
Thought for a moment you taught Sean how to use Blender. Thought you taught him something there, but no.
Okay, I've got my headset on charge, which means it's going to disconnect.
But so speaking of that, speaking of Blender, Wolf started playing around in Unity.
Right.
I don't know if he can hear me or not. But so I was chatting with Wolf, and he started playing around in Unity. So he was trying to make a building, and like I wouldn't even know how to do it in Unity. I
downloaded that. I downloaded it again.
You downloaded Unity?
I need it. I need it to do my VR tours.
Yeah. So
I didn't realize you got rid of it. I thought you were still using it.
So he was saying how like to make a building, right? Like just make a building. I'm like, yo, like, and he didn't have Blender at the time. I'm like, just get Blender. Let me show you. And it was literally like 20 seconds to scale a cube, put another cube inside it, Boolean, done. So it was.
I just think of that make a tree video. Any mention of Blender, of Unity or Blender, or anything, I just think of that make a tree.
There's a couple of them. It's like how to make Yoda in like less than a minute or something like that. Dude, he's got a couple of those videos.
Yes, absolutely mental. And I've purchased because it's on a monthly contract. Substance Painter. Now I don't know whether you've seen it, heard about it, or anything like that. It's an Adobe product. And it is purely for texturing 3D models. This thing is phenomenal. Like you put it in there and go, I want to paint this metallic. I want to add rust. I want to make it look. I want to add cracks.
I think you were showing me this.
It's game changer. It's only $20 a month. I say only. It's only $20 a month, but it's absolutely phenomenal. And some of the stuff
that texturing is like the worst.
Oh, it's so fun now.
Like its texturing is like the worst.
Beforehand, I was exporting the UV map from Blender, putting it into Photoshop, and then doing it that way, which was quite hard, quite time consuming. But in Substance Painter, you can literally paint straight onto the model and view it as it's happening.
So what I need to figure out for Unity is, so I was playing around with terrain on Unity and stuff, and it's like, so let's say you make like a bunch of hills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you want to lower those hills.
Mm-hmm.
Like to try to get your thing over the hill and to reduce it, if your mouse selection is on like a lower section, it'll lower the lower section rather than just lower the upper section.
Yeah, you just end up doing that really quickly. Yeah,
and it's just man,
I've got the patience for this.
There's got to be a way to be like lower the high part only from what I've selected.
So while we're on Unity topics and maps, I've gone through. I've had a look. We've got a couple of community maps being made for Alvo. I had a walk around one of them yesterday. I had a walk around one of them yesterday, and for a community map, it is phenomenal. Really, really good. You'll know which one it is when we bring that one out. I've been around the extended version of Town because we've extended the Town map. I've had a walk around Desert because Desert's had an update. Not extended, but just a bit of refinement going through on the Desert map. A house has been extended. Anybody that has played the beta, seen any pictures, basically all around the outside of the house map, because it's within a wall confinement. So all the way around it, there was a grassland area. That's all been opened up. There's a lot of stuff there. Plus, I don't know whether they've been made public knowledge yet, so I can't mention. There is another section on that map just to add a bit more maneuverability around the map. Is probably the best way of putting it on there. Industrial. You've not looked around that yet, have any of you? Wolf has. No. I know Wolf's had a look around with Industrial. So that's one of the new maps that is there. So we've got 2 map modifications and 2 new maps that are about 95% of the way through. Extremely close on finishing of those. Now, when I say 95% of the way through, that is 95% of the way through the design and build of the map. Then you've just got to go through and add the simple things like the spawn points, the bot navigation where they can move to and can't move, little things like that. So they don't take that long. So you could probably say it knocks it down to about 90% overall completion, really.
If we get some good custom community maps post launch as well, that's been quite successful for a lot of the Quest side of things.
Yeah.
Or the PC VR side.
Well, we've got 2. We've got another map actually because we've got factories in final stages as well. So that's
factory and industrial.
That's a community map. That's nearly done. So it is phenomenal what people with some skills can do to really
Anything
go through and help push the game. The biggest thing that we've got for Alvo coming this week, I hope tomorrow, touch wood, but this week.
Is it?
The party system.
Is it?
Yeah.
So I before this stream, I was in a build testing the party system. And then they've gone away to do a couple of small tweaks, and then I'm testing the final build as soon as this finishes. So, and then as long as that final build's okay, it'll be uploaded to go live whenever Sony deem fit to press the button and put it live.
Is that on the dev kit of the Oculus version?
That's on the PS4.
On the dev kit one, yeah.
So annoyingly, because it's a PlayStation party system, so I can only test it on the PlayStation.
No, but that's good because it's testing it in almost in live setting. Yeah, I think that'll bring a lot of people back. We've talked about it a lot. The limited time people have to play games. Sometimes they want to play with the mates. People played the beta, like the game, but want to play with the mates. This should bring them back.
But it's simple things. You know, we tested a few things. Annoyingly, the beta doesn't have on the PlayStation on the PlayStation desktop. When you click on the game, it normally shows you a list of players underneath who's playing it, and you can join them.
Yeah.
It doesn't give us that feature on the test kit because it's only a test game. It's not a full-fledged game.
But Firewall had that and took it out.
Yeah. But so because it's hard, but we will have it in the game. It's just that on the test kit, you don't have it. So we tested it by doing, because the other way of the same feature is creating a PlayStation party chat. And then in the party chat, you can join game on a player.
Yeah.
So that works. We've tested it.
I'd say Firewall took all that out. Because if you remember, back in the day, you'd be able to see who was in a session. So you could have a look through your friends list. Because this is one of the big problems with Firewall is like if you've got loads of people inviting you, or you're inviting loads of people, you can't see if they're in a game already.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
but you used to be able to jump right into the lobby with people.
Yeah, but you can jump right in the lobby with people.
You had like a group of 7 that you would always play with, and you were in with 3, and you wanted to invite one of your other guys. You could look and see who they're playing with, and you would look at them and go, right, they're playing with this guy, so I know they're not going to come out. And now you just, when they first did that, I mean, I tend to play with the same group. I tend to play with the same group all the time anyway, in all fairness. But you would accept an invite to a game, and somebody else will beat you to it.
Yeah.
And then you'd be sitting in the lobby on your own.
You're still going to have that. Now, we tested through loads of scenarios. So this is what some people will like. That. Like Call of Duty does, I can let's say you're just at the main menu, Vanny.
Yeah.
You've got 2 options. You can send me an invite, or I can join you, and I will join you in the main menu like you can in Call of Duty. Now, if you're AFK, that's tough. You're AFK. I'll have to join someone else, because that can happen in Call of Duty. So we've got that where you can just join straight on there. You can join someone direct into the game, and while you're playing the game, you can invite someone to join you in that game. So you can literally press the options button and invite someone to join you while you're playing, if there's room.
That's going to be quite a robust kind of party system, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is what people want.
The only reason you would ever get kicked from a party, the host can. This is the slightly different. The host can kick you from a party. The host can transfer ownership of the party to another player. So if they know they're signing off for the night and go, okay, who wants to take over? You can. Or if they don't, it will automatically assign someone.
So this is like you say Call of Duty. Yeah. So rather than a PlayStation party, it's a Alvo group essentially. Yeah. So you can put them in the game, and then obviously crossplay will come into effect, and that would use a similar kind of process, wouldn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, crossplay, because you have to for PlayStation.
So that's going to be interesting, yeah. Because how are you going on PlayStation? Can you invite somebody through?
You do it in game.
You can. You have to have an in-game friends list, which is that's in development anyway. Because I think Call of Duty have the Epic friends something. Activision friends.
Speaking of Epic friends list, oh my god, have you looked at? I don't know if you've played Rocket League lately when people are online. But have you looked at the friends list now?
It's huge.
It's stupid. Okay, so for the people that are like Venny that are looking at us like we're crazy, you have an online in game, a online, and launcher, an offline, and that's just for your Steam, or well for me for Steam, and then you have an Epic ID online, in game. Off. It's like there's there's 7 lists now. Yeah. It's like what in the F?
See, when it's a Call of Duty one, it kind of it combines your PlayStation and your Activision ID together. It's kind of one profile.
Now so I think there's something within that, Titch, because PlayStation side you have to give the option of being able to play on just with crossplay turned off. For Steam or Oculus, they don't care. But from the Sony side, you have to have
on
that
the friends list remote. Why bother separating your offlines and your onlines? They're either offline or they're online, and you have to sign up.
Yeah, I get the offline online, but they're separating them by potentially what platform they're on.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah, but sign it
user friendly. Yeah,
but the sign it automatically determines.
They could easily group that together.
No, but you always play Rocket League on your PC, don't you?
Yeah.
So, you know, when you'll probably never really notice, but every time you come against someone that's on a different console, it doesn't just
sign it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So as far as the crossplay thing goes, you'll know if it's crossplay on my friends list because they'll show up as sign it. Yeah, they won't have any profile picture. It'll automatically show up as sign it.
Which is crazy, really, isn't it? Something as simple as that. But yeah,
it's just dumb. Like, but if you look at my friends list yesterday, I was trying to invite Wolf or somebody. I think it was Wolf. But yeah, I was going through. I'm like, what? Why is there so many goddamn lists?
Hey, Vinical. Hey, Eddie. Sorry, you popped in as well. I didn't see you there.
If you compare Epic to Steam, though, Epic aren't great at this kind of stuff. Like their launcher is just a place to get free games every week.
Yeah.
And no one uses Epic.
Dude, I don't think I even opened up their launcher.
Oh, I do it always to get the free games. That's it.
Yeah, I haven't even done that.
Even if I don't intend to play it, I always get it. If something's free, I went on the PlayStation website earlier on, filtered by free, and got all of the PS5 upgrades for the games you've already got.
That when you get the PS5, you've got them.
Just in case they decide to take that away. But I also ordered my PSVR adapter today, which is going to take about 3 weeks.
I've got mine, but I was saying to my guys asked me earlier, they said, it's still quite hard to get hold of a PS5. And I said, probably is, but I've not looked. Even since they came out, I've not looked because until there is a game that I go, I want to play that is PS5 only, I have no reason to.
I'm still going to get one. We all know I'm going to get it.
I've said right from the get-go, there's multiple reasons why I wouldn't get a PS5. Number one, never get the first batch attack ever.
Yeah, but that's gone. That first batch is.
So that was one reason that I refused to do it right off the hop. Number two, there was nothing on it that really benefited me in any way, and it was like, oh, loading times. What the time we were playing Firewall, great. I can load into the lobby that much faster and wait. But like, it was just, it didn't really help for PSVR. So I was like, what am I paying it for then? What am I spending the money on?
I think until the next version of VR headset comes out, when the VR2 comes out, that will be a PS5 only. So yeah, I'm going to have to do...
tomorrow, by the way. is a
state
of play.
Yeah, they're gonna be talking about it, I think.
So really hopeful on that. But that's the only incentive that I have personally to get a PS5. But the graphics alone don't do it for me, because when you're in VR, you're limited to the headset.
Yeah, but people are saying it is better on some games. Firewall is not particularly one of them. There's conflicting reports, but let's be honest. If it was better, every single person would say it was better. If half are saying it is and half are saying it's not, then it definitely is not. It's a placebo. But things like Dreams and No Man's Sky, they're all Blood and Truth. They're all meant to be significantly better. Not limited by the headset, but they're meant to be better. So there's Wolf saying that some devs increase the performance and resolution for the game. They're going to be limited how far they can go. However, so on PC, I've got a 1080p monitor on my laptop, right? But I supersample my games, and I normally play them at it's somewhere like 1440 or even higher. Even though it's displayed on a lesser resolution, you're supersampling it. It's better. Yeah. So there's still a little opportunity there. It's not going to be great, but it potentially be better.
I always question the performance increases in resolution. I mean, I guess arguably you can put in better resolution textures to make the game look a little bit better. But as far as increasing performance goes, you have an FPS cap.
Yeah,
and unless your game is
through doing the Alvo side, I've got a little bit more understanding now of what I did have on what people mean when they say increasing. So, like when you are in a map, that you've got a building that's in the distance, you have different texture sets for that. So you have a low resolution one, and then when you get to a certain distance, it switches to a high resolution.
Yeah.
Where if you're in a console with a better processing power, you can keep the high resolutions in and keep more assets in as you're approaching them. So I do understand how, for example, if we think like the desert map that we've got, that's quite a big map. You can from the top you can see all the way to the bottom. So that is in the scale of loading quite high on the PlayStation 4.
Almost.
You think of games like Call of Duty, when you play those, when you're up high, you can see quite far.
Careful.
Which you can understand fully. While when you play Call of Duty on your console, the sodding thing sounds like it's going to take off because it's constantly having to work.
But if you think about the PSVR, so Firewall, how many times have you been looking straight across the map on District and been totally unable to tell if that one black pixel is that a person? Is it just a bit of wall? Is it a plant? Now maybe the draw distance could be increased on a better console, even with the same headset. So it's little things like that might be better. But like I say, if it was significantly better, everybody on a PS5 would be saying you must buy a PS5. Firewall is incredible.
But we still go back to. You're on a classic PS4.
Yep.
I'm on a classic. So, if we were that bothered about it, we would have at least had a Pro to get the Pro patch.
Now, I definitely would say the Pro is an upgrade to the 4 Firewall. Definitely.
But then going from the Pro to the 5 probably isn't. So if I go to a 5, it'll be phenomenal.
The main difference with the Pro is there's a lot of clarity when you look down at your wrist tablet. Like, if your arm is down holding the gun, the camera's not low enough, you can see it clear as day. Whereas in the original, I had to kind of bring it up here to get the full clarity. It's minor, really, but it was noticeable.
Are you sure you're not just partially blind? I'm I don't know, man.
I've not got an issue with it.
No, it's like, right. So can you watch a standard definition TV now without turning to someone in the room and going, "Fuck no, we used to watch this all the time with no bother." Can you watch standard definition without complaining?
Depends on what it is. If it's only Fools and Horses, all the time.
You put Netflix on and it buffers for a little bit and you get the standard definition before the 4K kicks in and you sit there going, what the fuck is this? This is unwatchable. It's like that. So it's only when you go... Yeah, it is a minimal difference even to the Pro Flash, right?
Thanks, Flash. You just saved me a load of money there. Antich. Thank you.
What I'm saying is, once you've seen it... I
will continue to wait.
I was playing with the regular PS4 and I got the Pro, and I literally was playing Firewall, put the Pro on, and then changed to Firewall again, like literally like within the same 10 minutes.
So this is the interesting bit then, Flash. Do you play any games on the 5 that you cannot play on the 4 at the moment? That'd be an interesting one. Because for me, that's the reason. Unless my friends are playing something different.
Oh, so on flat screen, it's another beast. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's probably
that's a good point. There probably isn't that many games, but
now on flat screen, I can understand it being a difference because with your TV, it's generally bigger. It's a lot more. It's got a push. It can handle different frame rates. It's also like a lot of people are on 4K. Not what's the 720p? I don't freaking know what the headsets are for the PSVR, but like
it's 960 or something like that. It's like a weird.
Yeah, it's something weird. But so like I can understand it definitely having more of an impact on flat screen. But like I said, when it comes to the headset's a limitation. I don't believe there's that much of a drop. And Sean, having done a lot with Elvo, they optimize the games for the purpose of maintaining the frame rates and maintaining the look. Like, so I don't know how much more there is to give. I guess arguably they could add in more things because you've freed up some CPU.
But then
that's the main thing. That is the main thing. You can add more in.
But they're not really going to do that because then it doesn't sit right with both consoles, and then if they want to play multiplayer, they have to be the same. So
that was the whole reason with Pavlov and contractors and all that with the Quest, right? If you play on the Quest without being plugged in, it's a downgraded version. The textures look plain. That way, it's easier to render to maintain the frame rates.
Yeah.
So if your minimum frame rate is 120 FPS and you have to stay above 120 FPS, like you're going to optimize the game to 120 FPS while keeping as much stuff in it as you can to make it look as good as it can be, but still be above that minimum target.
Yep.
Having said that, though, the PSVR isn't 120. It's 60 reprojected to 120. So with the PS5, maybe it could hit 120 without the reprojection. Because that's, again, it's one of the things
where... 90. Or no.
Sorry?
The Quest is 90.
Yeah, the Quest 90. The Quest is getting 120, apparently.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. There was they put out saying that the Quest 2 could be getting a patch to go up to 120.
But it's like the Apple headset, though. It's like, 8K now. But you've got to run it. So, yeah, great, the Quest gets a 120 hertz upgrade, but your PC then has to do it at 120 hertz. 120 frames per second to do the 120 hertz on the headset. Well, the reprojection isn't that great, and it's probably not noticeable that it is being reprojected until you've experienced it without. So I've got a Flight Sim for the PC, and that's in VR. Now my computer cannot run it at any level.
I was going to say most things can't even run it.
Vinny, I nearly tagged you in it. Just while we're on VR and Flight Sims, Microsoft Flight Simulator now has a VR section in it.
That's what I just said.
That was it. I saw it on Facebook. I saw it on Facebook. Come on.
Literally,
I nearly tagged you in it.
Fucking hell. So I mean, my computer runs the game fine on flat. I mean, it hammers.
I was gonna say define fine because like
it's everything maxed out. But if they patched it and improved the graphics, I'd have to turn stuff down.
So the thing with Flight Sim, at least. Like anything below 60 FPS, you normally in a lot of games you'd be like, "Oh my god!" But Flight Simulator is not a game that's really like. If it were to dip 50 FPS, even down to like almost 40 FPS,
there's no computer that exists at the moment that can run it on everything full above 50 FPS consistently. There's no computer exists.
It's fine. It's not you don't notice it as much as long as consistency is better than. So, like for example, you can have 80 FPS or a 75 FPS monitor. If that 75 FPS is all over the map as far as actual frame times on screen, if you graph an on-screen time. Usually, what you'll see, and how long each frame is actually on the screen for. You can have spikes of a frame being on screen for a long time that will make it noticeable, almost like lag, a stutter. So if you have 50 FPS or 45 FPS, but those frames are consistent all the way through, even at like 55, 60, even 80 FPS, if you have spikes, then it's going to look and feel worse than 40 FPS.
This is why I normally, even like flat screen gaming, I'll normally cap my FPS just a little bit lower than I know I can maintain, because then it's consistent, but still high enough that is good. But I don't want it. Like, I don't want my system going full belt to hit the maximum frame rate and then dipping 20 frames under, because that creates that annoying kind of. That may be not what other people feel like doing, but I like to like just.
Yeah, no, I get exactly what you mean.
But with the flight sim with VR, so like I say, I can run it fine on like the ultra graphics and everything. It's not great. It could. I would love some more frames, but it works fine. As soon as you put it in VR, different beast, and you have to lower everything down. But even when you lower everything right down, you're still aiming for 35 frames to then reproject to 70. That's about as good as life's going to get for you. And you notice when you turn your head, there's a slight. It's not even like lag or stutter, but there's a slight kind of you can feel it reprojecting. But I can only feel it because I've experienced it without reprojection. Whereas when PSVR was the only headset I'd used, which is always reprojected,
it was normal.
I didn't know any different. Yeah. So now I struggle sort of to play Fire Emblem. It feels really low quality in the PSVR because I've experienced something different, and that's my thing for me. You know, if you've got a PS5 and it is a minimal difference, but then went back. So here, Flash, if you went back to your original PS4, I wonder if you'd feel the difference more then because you're going backwards. You might not, but
possible. Yeah,
that's
what happens.
Well, I mean, if it was a reprojected, like if you were to notice it, like you would notice that things are almost feel sped up in a way. I don't know if you've gone from something where from like 60 to, to say like 120 hertz, like it feels faster just because it's like it's just buttery smooth. So it looks like it travels faster. So you'd almost have the feeling of it. It's felt like the game has almost picked up a little bit. It seems like turning's easier and quicker. But if you don't have that effect, I don't know if you would necessarily going back would be able to notice like a real noticeable difference. Because I mean, something like that you would generally notice.
But I feel like on PSVR, and it's noticeable with Firewall, but it's PSVR in general. If you get the gun and you put it on one side and you just move all the way across, it doesn't feel like it's one-to-one with your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Quest does. Like you move your hand with the Quest controller and it moves perfectly in real time to the point that it could actually confuse me if I'm immersed in the game. That's my hand. Whereas PSVR, I never get that. In fact, as soon as my hands move on screen, like as soon as I move a gun, that takes the immersion away a bit because it's not crisp. And I don't know if that's ever going to change until we get a new headset. I don't know if it's tracking or is it the actual system itself. I'm not really sure.
I think it's a little column A, a little column B because because it's a headset limitation. I think partially tracking, but yeah, it's.
We'll see what the next. Brilliant. I said before, it's brilliant for what it does and how they managed to put it together. They didn't have to bring VR to console. They brought it mid-cycle of the PS4, and they brought it using hardware that was really undercutting everything else available because it was pre-Quest.
And I guess theoretically for the PS5, arguably you could notice a slightly better tracking in the form of it's picking up the tracking faster. Like the delay from the camera seeing where it is to the processing to on-screen time could theoretically be a little bit could be milliseconds faster. So I mean, as far as PS5 goes, you might notice a bit of a difference in the tracking where it doesn't seem as delayed, but like minimal. You know what I mean? But yeah, I guess that's possible.
Yeah.
Yes. So Flash is saying it backs up the flat screen side. He hasn't really tested the VR side of going backwards. But yeah, the flat screen side.
Yeah. Again, it is probably minimal, but the point about like the tracking not being great is it's really exciting to think how it's going to be when the PSVR 2 comes out. If we're going to get that level, because the PC VR tracking is brilliant. Like it could be improved still, but it generally is quite good.
Oh yeah.
And the graphics are really good. So even if like PC VR and PSVR are so far apart at the moment, and even if PC VR continues to improve, and then PSVR 2 reaches a level that PC VR is at now, I think everyone will be happy with that.
At the end of the day, PSVR will always be behind PC VR.
Yeah, but I think that if it reaches what PC is now, I think that'd be a reasonable level to have attained and still be behind. Whereas at the minute, PSVR just looks so old. Like
I mean, yeah, it'll look better, and you're like, you know, we reached a point where it looks great. The screen door effect is gone, but then it's just gonna be, where does PC VR go from here? It's like saying, like, you know, Nintendo 64 is great. If we could get it to, you know, the next,
I know, yeah.
It's kind of the same concept. Like it'll always be an advancement forward, right? But I mean, that's the problem with consoles. They're always going to be behind PC VR because PC can evolve faster than consoles can. But it's just a natural rate.
It's diminishing returns, though, isn't it? It's like I've got a 4K TV. I've no desire to upgrade that at all. Whereas when HD TVs first came out, everyone was desperate to upgrade. It was a massive difference. But once you start getting to your 2K, your 4K, and then looking at like an 8K TV, do I really notice much of a difference? Yes, it is a difference, but am I bothered?
Okay, so let's go through while we're here because it's going to be. I'm going to change this, derail us off topic because I do need to shoot off. You've obviously seen the chat as well, Vinny, that I've got to get ready for playing.
Is that your Discord that keeps beeping?
Sorry, so,
are you sharing sounds?
Nope.
Okay, because my Discord keeps beeping and I have no idea why.
It's not me. It's not me. I've got to go off and test an Alvo build in a second, which is the party system update. Providing this test is good, the party system will be live. So we're going to be squadding up. The Pro League we will be doing, if the squadding's working fine, we're going to be doing a league, a proper league, you know, 5-man teams, get as many teams entered as we can across the beta, and do what we do best. Run a league, run a playoff format at the end of it. But it's going to have to be pretty bloody compact to get it done within 3 weeks or so.
But it will be a good proof of concept again for when it goes live.
So that's what we want to do. Simple things that are going into this patch. Party system, that's going in. I'm only going to go through some simple things. The party system is going into this patch. We've added in the controller vibrations. So it's only very simple, but you do notice it when you shoot, when you're firing. They're going through. The lasers have been fixed. You know that we did when we put the new contractor models in. There was an issue with the lasers, so we turned the lasers off temporarily. They're going to go back on, all being well, in this patch as well. So there's a few good things there. The squads one being the main one, you know.
Yeah, and that's what I think is going to bring a lot of people back.
But it's taken all the good things out of gaming. You know, join your friends whenever you want to join your friends. Now, one thing that was quite novel idea. So the whole point of Alvo is focused around getting you playing the game. We've said that from day one. That's the whole point of the bots. Okay, so let's go through a dilemma, Vinny. You and I we're in a party together. There's another room going on, which it's a 2v2. Let's say it's team deathmatch 2v2. You and I join. Yeah. It will then keep us together as a 2 on one team, and it will then be 4v2. because of that situation, it will throw 2 bots onto the other team, so it is a 4v4 temporarily. After that game, it would shuffle it around, keep us together, but it would move players around so it balances at the end of the game.
But it keeps the party together, which is the main thing. That's what people want.
Now, there is one difference where that wouldn't be possible. Okay, so if you and I were on a team, and because the rooms of 10, it's 5v5 rooms of 10. So if there was 8 playing and it was 4 on either side, it goes through different logic. So it would first search, find a room where we could both get on the same team. If we can't get on the same team, find a room where it can split us. So for one game, it could split us onto either side. Let's say there was a circumstance of 8, there was only two slots free, 1 on either side. It would split us on either side. At the end of that game, it would reshuffle everything and put us back on the same.
Yeah, which
so you've got one game. Worst case, you've got one game of being apart.
Yeah,
which is totally fine because even if you join in, it's only for one game. My goal is just to shoot you in the head.
Yep. So that's the very, very worst case for it. So it's built around keeping players in the game for as fast as you possibly can, which is perfect.
Yeah, there's not a lot of breaks in it, is there? And I don't think, especially at launch, I don't think it's going to have any issues finding full lobbies. If you go in with your 5 mates, I don't see it finding a problem getting a 5v5 with 2 parties.
And the key, obviously, we've got all the stats. We can see players coming in, going every time they log in. So as soon as this patch goes live, everyone's been saying we're waiting for this, and it's going to be hopefully a game changer for people, and it will for you, because I know you and your guys, Vanny, you want to go on when you can play together, and going in as a party is the only way you can guarantee it.
So, funnily enough, I was actually talking to somebody today about Alvo. It's just weird. And they asked about release date. And I was like, yeah, it's supposed to be coming out end of, looking at the end of March. Is supposed to be, is the release date that's been put out, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, how much is it? I said, I don't know the he's like, I don't care. It could be $120. I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to buy it. I was like, so yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be short of players to start. I mean, it's a hell of a lot of fun. I don't get to play it as much as I want to, but Wolf and I were supposed to play the other day, and then he just fucking never messaged me.
Just ditched you.
Just fucking next thing you know, he's jumping on Assassin's Creed, and it was like, oh, okay.
But yeah, I've really got to jump off, guys, because I need to get this game downloaded, which means I need to turn the VPN on, and I cannot do that while I'm streaming this.
But we've managed to be in Skype for an hour and a half for a update that had one league continuing to run.
I enjoy our weekly chats. It keeps me sane in these manic times of lockdown. So yeah, no, it's nice being here chatting to people, actually.
Yeah. So probably not back next week.
But we should be back in 2 days.
Back in 2 days for the final of the strategic, and then we'll maybe try and cover some of the knockout tournament games that are coming up. And then obviously we've got the season.
I need to find a new hat.
Let's give them off. You do need to find a new hat. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll catch you on Friday, hopefully, for that match. 10 o'clock UK time.
Take care, everyone. Good night.
Cheers. Good night.
See ya.